Hello, my name is John Senda. I'm an osteopath and yoga teacher. First of all, I'd like to mention that in the description I've left links to both in-person and online yoga anatomy courses. Today we're going to look at a series on the circulatory system and the heart. Let's go to the screen. Here, everything painted in red represents the arteries, and the blue ones are the veins. And right here in the middle we have the heart. If we have poor blood circulation, both leaving and entering the heart, we won't be able to clear out waste, and it will end up accumulating in the arterial walls and organs, directly affecting blood pressure and, in the long run, the proper functioning of the heart. Here we have the diaphragm. The diaphragm is closely linked to the heart. If the diaphragm doesn't function correctly, the heart has to compensate, and vice versa. That's why there's a direct link between the diaphragm and the heart. Let's add the heart, remove the muscles, and we see that the heart sits right on top of the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic movement will also impact not only the organs, but also the heart, which is located right above it. And if we look, here are the veins. The superior vena cava passes through the diaphragm toward the heart. Therefore, we have that direct heart-diaphragm connection. Strength poses and dynamic poses promote the activation of the circulatory system because we activate the sympathetic nervous system. So in strength poses, we consume more oxygen, the diaphragm works harder, and the heart works harder too. Utkatasana strength poses activate blood circulation. Raised arms allow for stretching and diaphragmatic release, and at the same time we increase the space for the heart so it can pump more fluidly. Here we see that the quadriceps and calves, and in general the muscles of the lower extremities, are toned and strong, which helps by compressing the veins and arteries, aiding blood circulation to the heart, because the poor heart doesn't have to do all the work. We have muscles that will help in its job. This way, the heart pumps more fluidly. Utthita Trikonasana. First, we lean to the right side to compress the liver, which is located right under the diaphragm. A dirty liver, an inflamed liver, affects proper diaphragmatic movement, which in turn will affect the heart, because we've already seen that diaphragm-heart connection. The liver is what's involved in blood quality while we open the heart and release the diaphragm. Then we switch sides. Virabhadrasana 1, an extension, we open the rib cage. We leave space for the heart, and it's a good strength pose for increasing blood circulation. That combination, as before, of toning the leg muscles plus a diaphragmatic opening, leaving space for the heart. Virabhadrasana 3, a balance pose. But it's also about strength for activating the sympathetic nervous system, which boosts blood circulation. Here the limbs, both the one on the floor and the elevated one, are toned and strong, compressing the veins and arteries, seeking the upward flow of blood toward the heart. With the diaphragm open, we create space, improving blood circulation. We start with the right leg on the floor to activate the channel. Nadi Pingala, which is the sympathetic nervous system, and then we switch sides. Dynamic Uttanasana. In dynamic poses in this case, we inhale with the extension and then we flex with the exhalation. Dynamic poses facilitate blood flow through the compression and decompression of the organs and changes in pressure. We inhale with the extension and exhale with the flexion. Vrksasana, the balance poses. They are accompanied by strength. The leg on the floor is toned and strong, and we're also activating the cerebral hemispheres. In this case, we first activate the left cerebral hemisphere, which is the rational one, the sympathetic nervous system, which will help blood circulation. Additionally, a diaphragmatic release, leaving space for the heart. Utthita Parsvakonasana. We start by leaning to the right side, just like before, to compress the liver on the right, which is an organ where a large amount of blood is stored, so it can be expelled toward the heart through the portal vein. Furthermore, it's a strength pose that helps with blood movement, diaphragmatic release, and space in the heart. Parivrita Utkatasana, a twist. And it's also a strength pose for toning the legs. This helps expel blood from the organs, especially the liver. And the strength of the muscles promotes the transit of blood toward the heart. Majaryasana Bitilasana. We do a dynamic pose. On the inhalation, we do an extension to open up spaces in the diaphragm and heart. And with the exhalation, we do a flexion, compressing all the organs and facilitating the transit of blood toward the heart. Dandayana Barmanasana. We continue with the dynamic poses. With the inhalation, we extend one arm, we extend one leg. And with the exhalation, we bring the elbow to the knee, creating an organic compression, performing a blood emptying. Dynamic poses are fantastic for increasing blood circulation and the sympathetic nervous system. Phalakasana, a traditional strength pose to increase blood circulation. In this case, arms, legs, and glutes are toned to increase blood flow of blood circulation towards the heart, while strength poses also activate the diaphragmatic pulse that goes hand in hand with the heart. Ardhanavasana, another strength pose for the activation of Manipura, the navel point, which activates the sympathetic nervous system. Muscle toning compresses blood vessels so that blood can return to the heart, especially the blood flow in the digestive area, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, gallbladder, and so on. All that goes through the vena cava to the heart, and the heart takes care of the distribution. Sufi circles, the movements massage all the organs for the expulsion of blood into the bloodstream. It's a gentle movement that massages the organs, especially the liver. We pump the blood upwards towards the heart. We activate the sympathetic nervous system in a gentle way to facilitate blood transit and the removal of toxins. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Another twist, we turn to the right side, we are compressing all the organs, emptying the liver, emptying the blood from the stomach, from the intestines, and all that goes to the heart, which will be in charge of pumping it, but the blood emptying of the organs facilitates the expulsion of toxins stored due to inflammation and slow digestive systems. Dynamic Paschimottanasana, we inhale, making an extension and elongation of the spine, and as we exhale, we flex as much as possible. This dynamic movement facilitates the compression and decompression of the digestive organs, also of the kidneys behind, as the kidneys will filter the blood. Therefore, they are organic dynamic poses, fantastic for increasing blood circulation, and so the heart doesn't overwork. And we do Sukhasana with Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is an abdominal movement. The intention is in the exhalation. This dynamic posture promotes intestinal transit and acts as a suction for the venous system through the superior vena cava towards the heart.
Atkure name Jugatkure name Satgure name Sri Guru Deve name Atkure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Satgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Jugatgure name Sadgure name Sri Gurudev name Adgure name Sadguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Sadguru Name Jugat Guru Name Sadguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Sadguru Name Jugat Guru Name Sadguru Name Sri Guru Deva Name Sadguru
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.